Hey everyone, Richard Logan here in Huntington Beach at Finished Vehicle Logistics North America 2024. I'm delighted to be joined by a good friend and colleague, Raúl Gamboa, who's Head of Logistics, Production Control and Production Systems at BMW Group San Luis Potosí in Mexico. Raúl, welcome.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate the invite.
Yeah, great to have you here. And when we spoke 6 months ago, there was a growing sense of optimism about logistics capacity, about bottlenecks easing, particularly in Mexico. Has that come to fruition, and what's the situation now?
Yeah, I have to feel very proud about what happened the last few months, because certainly we're stable again. That was, I would say, the first target. Nevertheless, we still foresee challenges. The situation geopolitically is changing still. We have also some issues in regards of vessel schedules in order to pick our vehicles, to serving properly the market. Capacity is a little bit more stable, but certainly continues a big risk. Challenges such as infrastructure overall Mexico, backlog at the ports, new legislation and legal requirements that we have to comply with, certainly still bringing some challenges. So we remain with the strategy of being flexible and really look after what options do we have in order to overcome these challenges.
Yeah, excellent. Well, it's good to hear some progress there, but still obviously plenty of work still to do. You gave a fantastic presentation to our audience earlier, outlining some examples of some of the success stories to remove that backlog and get vehicles moving through your network again. Can you share a few examples of what you've been doing and some of the lessons you've learned from that over this last period?
Yeah, totally. I mean, last year we have to be very creative on the ideas we wanted to bring. Some of them were crazy, as using flatbeds, for example, for transport vehicles. That was completely, a few years ago, forbidden on our standard of quality. Nevertheless, we have to react and have to react very fast. Fortunately, we have to get rid of them. Nevertheless, we have to implement other creative ideas, such as containerization of vehicles. Again, not really the best on regards of quality assurance. Nevertheless, was an option last year in order to be able to comply with the requirements. What we have done, and this is something that stays and remains, is, for example, the long-term relationship with our partners. For example, on the port operations or car haulers in order to make to secure transportation capacity. Certainly, we became a little bit closer with the rest of the partners. Railway, for example, we changed a lot on the requirements and the expectations from them in order to comply with that. We're getting very close with the authorities as well. One of the big challenges, I would say, was a little bit change on the legal aspects, for example, on the steering and control of the borders. Certainly was a big game changer for us, so we need to be very close with them. What we foresee is keeping transparency, to know exactly what we are doing, when we are doing it, in order to be able to react on a proper time.
Yeah, some excellent points there. And the plant in San Luis Potosí has been operating for 5 years now. Talk us through a little bit of the evolution of the plant, and perhaps also interestingly how your relationship with the Spartanburg plant, your counterparts in the US, how that's evolved over that time, and what are some of the logistics benefits that you're seeing from that collaboration?
Yeah, starting back in 2019, when we produced our first car for a customer, we have been very active on regards of deploying other vehicles, for example, our 2 Series and M2 afterbeds, our core vehicles and products of the plant. We were able to launch our second ship, which has been us a lot of capacity that we can share with the rest of the markets. So certainly on regards of production, we have been very active. We are now, I would say, fine-tuning and we prepare ourselves to the production of electrical vehicles afterwards. Fortunately, 2 weeks ago, we were able to announce the groundbreaking of our energy module assembly hall in the plant, and also we are now on the process of updating our structure in order to be able to overcome the requirements in regards of electrical vehicles. On regards of the cooperation that we have with our colleagues from the US in Plant Spartanburg, I think it has been very successful. As I was explaining during the conference, we have been able to set up since a few years some strategies and some synergies on regards of inbound operations. For example, managing everything related to material control for plant, the US, out of Mexico with Mexican specialists, logistics specialists, that they are steering the whole material supply out of Mexico. Last year, we were able to launch another project, which is basically the steering of our returnables and donnages out of Mexico for the whole North American supplier base. And we're looking for other options, probably in transportation as well, on vehicle distribution as well, maybe some other options, digitalization, etc. I foresee that there's a lot of cooperation and has been very successful so far.
Yeah, well, it's excellent to hear that collaboration, that relationship continues to evolve and bring benefits for both sides of the border in this case. Perhaps one last final question or last final couple of questions. Nearshoring is a very real and important topic right now, particularly in Mexico. We're seeing a lot of investment, production increases, volumes of imports, of exports of vehicles and parts. Are you seeing noticeable impacts to your network, and how is this impacting your logistics requirements?
At the moment, I won't see really a big change so far. There has been a lot of discussions. I mean, you can see in the media everywhere, the whole industry talking about nearshoring. So far, I do not foresee that effect, but certainly this is something that will happen. It will take a bit longer. Why? Because the infrastructure may not be ready. Investments takes time to be deployed in the country, but certainly that will be an effect. We are preparing ourselves. As mentioned before, we are looking after a long-term relationship with our service providers in order to secure the capacity, and they also feel comfortable in the relationship they have with us. For us, it will be certainly a good benefit with the nearshoring, as many other suppliers that currently we do not have in the country may be interested to set up facilities, and with that we will be able to have a more or an increased local content from local parts. So certainly there are benefits, certainly there are challenges. So what we are foreseeing right now is that we need to prepare, we need to be flexible for that, because certainly the necessity of transport of goods and also transport of finished vehicles will be increasing and be higher, and maybe not probably in the similar way, but something that we can compare to what happened last year, and we need to be prepared for that.
Yeah, excellent points there. It's your, and maybe, so last question, I think, for now. It's your first time here with us in Huntington Beach at this particular conference. What are your impressions so far, and what will you be taking back to share with your teams from the event?
Thank you. No, I really enjoy it a lot. I think the most important thing for me was the networking. I have the chance to already meet some of the counterparts from other OEMs. And was very interesting to exchange what has been our challenges, and really to face and to realize, even though in different sizes, I would say, in comparison to us, but basically we are foreseeing and we are experiencing the same challenges. I think through this communication bridge that you were able to open for us, we may be able to find other solutions together, maybe to cooperate, even though, or just bringing some new ideas into the table and to discuss it. At the end is the benefit on the industry as well.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, and I'll let you go so you can continue to connect and innovate and learn about some more solutions. Raúl, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us too.
Thank you very much.